Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Criminal Justice Corner. I am your host, Dr. Jennifer Matthews. Here on Criminal Justice Corner, we tell you the real details surrounding the case, and just in case you find yourself in the same situation, we give you potential actionable advice so you can find your way out of it. Today, I have with me a very special guest, Russell Little. Russell, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First, I hope nobody that's listening to this finds them in the situation of the case we're talking about today. That would be crazy. My
It
name's
would
Russell
definitely be
Little.
crazy. We have a doozy today.
Practiced 41 years in the Houston, Texas area. I'm now in Georgia, in the mountains of Georgia, where the hurricane just hit. Uh,
Okay.
I also am a writer. I have two books out. One book coming out on October 22nd, Murder by Storm, which
Okay.
is a murder during a hurricane. And
Well, look at that.
I
Art
know, right?
imitating life.
I know. And last week I was doing interviews during the hurricane. It was great. In fact, I missed some interviews because I didn't have power.
Now, where can the audience find your book? Where can they get that book at?
Okay, Murder for Me is available right now on Amazon. Murder
Okay.
by Storm, Murder by Storm, my new book, it will
There we
be
go.
out
There it is.
October 22nd on Amazon.
Okay, so two books. You can get them both on Amazon by attorney Russell Little. So, Russell, we have a crazy case to talk about
I'm
today.
so
Let's
excited
just
to talk
dive
about it.
in. And then, like Russell, he told me, I have to say this. Everything we say today is allegedly and is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah,
I
please
have
don't
to say
sue us. Don't
that.
sue us.
Russell
It's
made me
only
promise to say
allegations.
that. So, today we're going to talk about the case where it's a shocking case out of Kentucky where the sheriff, Sean Mickey Stein,
Mickey Stines is how he goes.
yes, allegedly shot a judge in his chambers. And that judge is District Judge Kevin Mullins. Russell, when does that happen in real life? Now, I have to give you the what did they say, the preamble. I'm a former sheriff. So this is like hitting home for me. Like I'm having flashbacks of being in a courthouse, working in the courthouse, working in courtrooms with judges.
Right, you
This
do it
is
all the
not an
time.
everyday occurrence. Yeah, this is not an everyday occurrence.
Right.
What is going on in Kentucky that this sheriff's deputy decided to shoot allegedly this judge? Talk to me about this, Russell. What's going on in Kentucky?
Okay, well, you know that I've been busting doing research on this. I
Yes,
mean,
you went down
it's
the rabbit hole.
Man, and this rabbit hole goes dark and deep.
It
Okay,
does.
so
Yeah.
there were rumors of two different reasons why this happened right after.
Okay, let's break it down. We'll do first rumor. What's the first rumor?
Okay, the
Allegedly.
first rumor is because a deputy
Yes.
of Sheriff Stiles was blackmailing women into having sex with him in Judge Mullins' office so that they could have stay at home and not go to jail. And in fact, Sheriff Stiles has been sued too because had lack of supervision, and he was under an 8-hour deposition Monday before he murdered the judge, allegedly.
Now, so the person, Mickey Stines, he is being investigated already. And then he allegedly shoots the judge that was there's a part of the investigation too. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's the deputy has already gone to jail. The FBI is
Oh, so it's two
investigating,
different deputies we're talking
and
about.
there's a lawsuit suing everyone for $1 million.
So there's two different deputies. So it's Mickey and there's another deputy that were
Yes,
both allegedly doing this.
Mickey was not allegedly doing that. He's being sued for not properly supervising the Deputy
Oh,
Fields,
okay.
who was doing it, but he was doing it in Judge Mullins' court office.
So where was Judge Mullins during all of these alleged activities?
Well, that was the top of the first rumor, was that there was something going on because Judge Mullins was mentioned as in the court records, but not named as a suspect in the court records. And so there was questions between the lawsuits and the criminal investigations and the FBI investigation on that the
Hmm.
judge and the sheriff were having issues. And there was a
So,
preacher that posted video on the internet saying he was the preacher of both of them, and he promised to God that there was no problems between them. He said that.
okay, so that's a lot to unpack. So Mickey was supposed to be supervising the deputy who was allegedly blackmailing female inmates. That case was adjudicated because that deputy went away to jail.
Yeah. But, for that, he got 6 months in jail. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I'm
That's it.
telling you, that's part of this
But
dark hole.
somebody but somebody is suing them all for $1 million on top of that. Is
Right.
that a female inmate that's doing that
Yes.
suing?
Plus, the FBI is investigating it.
Okay,
That's
so the
investigation
FBI,
one.
right, that's investigation one. And so that investigation, even though that deputy went to jail, that investigation is still ongoing, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. What's rumor two? So let's talk about that.
So, rumor two was that uh, Judge Mullins was having a relationship with the sheriff's minor daughter.
Mickey's daughter,
Yes,
and she's a minor,
yes. She's 17.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
17.
Yes.
So allegedly, Mickey found out and was not happy about it, and he decided to allegedly kill the judge because of this.
Uh, what we didn't know, all we knew during the initial court hearing last week, nothing was mentioned about that. But during the preliminary hearing, to
Okay.
determine if it would be sent to a grand jury, they had
Mm-hmm.
a hour-long hearing today, which I watched and I excitedly sent to you.
And you're saying today, meaning October 1st of 2024. Okay.
Yes. And during the hearing, they actually played the video of the
Yes.
sheriff sitting in the judge's office,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he looked down at his phone and dialed a phone number,
He
which
did.
the detective testified during the hearing was the phone number of the sheriff's daughter. Then
Yep.
he set the phone down. Then he reached
Mm-hmm.
over to get the judge's phone. He dialed a phone number that the detective that testified today said was the sheriff's daughter's phone number. Then he set it
Right.
down. Then he stood up, pulled his gun, shot the judge 6 times, walked around the desk. And by the way, I think that this is going to cause problems for the defense attorney. Then he walked around the desk and shot the
Yeah.
judge 2 more times. Then he walked over to the judge's phone, picked it up again and looked at it, then set it down, and then left the office.
Yeah. So
Allegedly.
you're allegedly, we have to say that. You tell me. But you're saying that this is going to cause problems, and that's an understatement because we already know that this is a big deal going into this.
You want me to shock you with some testimony from the preliminary hearing? The
Sure. Why not?
uh, investigating detectives from the state of Kentucky or from the nearby office that did business with the judge and the sheriff every day.
Okay.
And during the uh, during the testimony, the defense attorney, who by the way did a great job today preparing for his defense of saying emotional distress, I thought he did a
Okay.
great job in building a basis for that.
Can you
Asked
see
him,
this, Mickey? I mean, I'm sorry. Can you see this, Russell? I'm playing
yes,
the
but I'm
video.
not Mickey.
I know. I'm sorry. That's what I said. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you
This
can see
is
this. This is the video, and they're playing this in court. You hear the family outcries. So this is the video of allegedly Mickey. This is Mickey in this video. Allegedly going into the judge's chamber, hunting the judge down, pointing a gun at him. The judge is retreating behind the desk, and you see him come and shoot under the desk again. And now he runs out. And then you hear the outcries of the people in the gallery.
that's the judge's family.
That's the judge's family. So there you have that there.
I was
And this is what
stunned.
happened.
I was stunned that
Yeah.
they played that in court.
I'm shocked at that they played that at a preliminary hearing. That's normally not done that way.
Well,
That is
Sheriff,
normally not done.
Sheriff, you should listen to the rest of the detective's testimony because you'll be shocked at what they didn't do. You'll
What
be
did they
shocked.
not do, Attorney
It's
Russell? What
way
did they
too
not do?
buddy, Sheriff.
What did they not do?
Well, number one, they have not uh, gotten a warrant or taken the phone of the daughter who the sheriff, when he was in the alleged act of just before he shot the judge, that he called twice, or to
Hmm.
see what the relationship was. They still haven't taken the daughter's phone.
Well, it's kind of too late now, don't you think? If they haven't taken her phone, she could have wiped it. She could have done
You
anything.
can still pull all that up.
Okay,
The
so
magic
okay,
IT men can always get that stuff.
okay, so they haven't gotten a warrant yet. We
And they
know that they
sounded like
can.
they hadn't thought of it yet.
Okay, is that what they do in Kentucky? They're not that bright. Is that what you're trying to allege,
I am
Attorney
not
Russell?
alleging anything about Kentucky. I'm just stunned at this testimony from this detective.
Okay, so the detective, he's not that bright. Is that what you're saying?
You'll have to listen to it for yourself. Everybody can listen to it for themselves.
Right, right.
It'll be all over by YouTube by the time you're watching this video, and you should watch it yourself. It's shocking.
Yeah, so they could draw their own conclusion.
Right.
But okay, so we know allegedly the Mickey shot the judge because he assumed, presumed there was a inappropriate relationship going on between the judge and his daughter. Let's say by happenstance that could have been true. Let's say that. Does that
Hypothetically.
justify, hypothetically, does that justify his actions?
I can tell you what, that attorney, you can tell from his cross examining of the detective that he's preparing for a lesser charge of manslaughter and to get the jury to convict him of manslaughter instead of murder. Because murder one in Kentucky is potentially capital murder.
Okay. But why do you think he's doing that? Like going after that, considering what we just saw in the video?
Well, because what do you mean? I mean, it's his job. Whenever I was hired
Yeah,
as a, whenever I was hired by somebody, they didn't hire me to get justice. My clients didn't want justice. They wanted me to win. You're
that's
hired
right.
to
You're
win.
right.
That lawyer's
As a
hired to
defense
win.
attorney,
And the
they
way,
want you
and
to
if
keep
he
them out
can,
of jail.
right. Well, he's not going to keep him
Yeah.
out of jail. But if he can get him manslaughter added from a jury instead
Hmm.
of murder one, he's won. That's a win.
Yeah. So, okay. So, if we know the defense's angle, what is the prosecutor's angle at this point?
Uh, the prosecutor's angle, there was a funny YouTube that there was a lady, there's a local lady in
Yep.
Whitesburg, Kentucky that
Yes, she is.
did the live telecast of the court
Yes.
hearing.
Yes,
And
she did.
when that was over, she rubbed her chin because she knew everyone in the courtroom. She was telling you during the hearing, okay, that's the wife, that's the ex-wife, that's the ex-con. Knew everybody. And she said, this is just like always. These people want to just uh, get him convicted and move him to jail, and there's no reason to tell any more secrets. That's how she described it. I thought that was pretty good for an old country lady.
So what she's saying is there are skeletons in the closet.
My. There are two FBI investigations going on in that county. There are lawsuits. Everyone is either married or divorced or somehow related to each other, and everyone's cheating each other. You should have seen the original hearing last week when the district attorney accused the attorney for the defendant, who wasn't really designated by the defendant but just showed up, as trying to, that had violated bar restrictions, and he did it right there in front of the judge. And that's
Now,
nasty, and that's the way that town goes.
and now there are some recusals in this case. Tell me about that.
Well, the uh, the local prosecutor has
Okay.
recused himself because he's either related to the sheriff by some information I've got, or related to Judge Mullins, but he's related to one of them. So he's recused himself. And the
Okay.
Attorney General of Kentucky has recused himself because
Okay.
uh, there is an FBI investigation going on with his main contributor and the governor's main contributor that are from different parties, uh, whose center is in eastern Kentucky, and was the favored local treatment place by the judge and the sheriff.
What? How is any of this even allowed? I mean, I guess that's why they did recuse themselves. Look, I guess that's why they did it. But so I guess the better question is this. I guess this is the better question. Considering the backgrounds of Mickey, considering the background of Judge Mullins, how does something like this occur where one person allegedly kills the other, considering their backgrounds? You know what I mean? Meaning, yes, there were these investigations going on, but by title, a judge, by title, a sheriff, there, that's an inherent noble titles. How does it all go wrong?
You answer that. My answer, yeah, I've been an attorney for 41 years. So my answer is that's what people are.
Okay.
But
What?
as a sheriff, you were a sheriff. I mean, what's your answer? I mean, there's
I
just
was
some
a
people you can't
sheriff.
fix, and you don't know they're going to
Yeah,
break till they break.
this is true. And you know what else too? A lot of times, it's sad, but it's true. Sometimes it's simply a crime of opportunity, meaning the backgrounds. That's what I'm talking about. The backgrounds. When, with the parallel FBI investigations, it could have just been, authority, like I'm the higher authority. It went to their heads, and now we're going to see what we can get away with. And you get away with it
But
for so
did
long.
for
Yeah,
several of
that
the
kind of
allegations within this case, not
thing.
just one, but two. I know what you're talking about. It's more than
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
more
what I'm
than
saying.
one.
So it's kind of like that kind of thing happened, if you will. That's
Yes.
what I would say as a former sheriff. Like, hey, don't let it go to your head. But in this case, it kind of did. And it wasn't just Mickey, it was his deputy. And you know what else? The investigation is still ongoing. We don't know who else is going to get caught up in this web. That's how I see that thing. Now, another thing is so I did ask you previously, I didn't get an answer, so I'm going to circle back to this. If the allegations are true, where the judge was allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with the daughter, does Mickey's actions justify what he did?
My answer will still be the same. I can always go back to my same answers. I'm good with
Which is
that.
what?
No matter how
Which is
many
what?
times the sheriff asks me, I can get the answer right. Sheriff, the answer is that uh, it's part of getting a jury to give a lesser conviction to manslaughter
Okay.
instead of murder one. which is
Okay.
what the defense attorney has already started working on today.
Yeah. So in that case, he's worth his salt. Then
Yeah,
he's
he did a good
doing
job. I was a little stunned.
exactly. He's worth his salt, and salt, and then maybe that is why a tactic, I should say, of them playing the footage in the courtroom during the preliminary hearing, kind of trying to lay that groundwork.
I think it's something else.
What do you think it is?
I think they're poisoning the jury well.
So they got to go to a different county.
Maybe not.
What do they got to
Because
do
they're
if
all,
they?
this is two counties over already. This has all been moved to two counties over. So if they poison the whole side of the state's jury well, they don't have to move anywhere. But they don't have to work as hard to convict him either. That's what I think it's about. I mean,
Okay.
why else
Okay.
would you play that in
Yeah.
open court
Yeah.
on video?
Yeah. Yeah, in front of everybody. The
Right.
news media, the family, both sides of the families. Like, what was that for? And then, so does he have a bond? Is he able to get out? What's that
Oh,
status with
no.
that?
He's
Okay.
because it's potential capital murder, killing of a public
Okay.
official. So,
Yeah.
even though Kentucky doesn't execute people anymore, they still have, you can still be convicted of that, and therefore you can't get bond. Plus, it's really hard if you murder someone to get bond anyway, usually.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree
it's
with that.
hard.
Definitely.
It's not
Now,
impossible.
another, it's definitely not impossible because I've seen less done with more. So, yeah. Now, considering all that we've talked about, considering the alleged facts, considering all of the investigations, considering the crime itself, I always like to give my listeners some takeaways. What would you say is a good takeaway for this case?
Don't kill people. I mean, I just don't
Simple
do
as
it.
that.
Don't do
Simple as
that.
that.
Right?
Simple as that.
It's like in that movie Liar when his client asking does something else and calls him. He says, "What do I do?" And he says, "Quit breaking the law."
Oh, yeah. I love that movie
I
with Jim
know.
Carrey.
They need to quit
That
breaking the
movie
law.
is
Don't
so
break the
good.
law.
Yeah. But wait a minute. If people don't break the law, you don't have a job. What are you talking about?
Oh, you still have a job.
No, you.
I
Because
still
you're an
have a job. Don't
attorney.
worry.
Okay.
There's always people. The stupid people are always making mistakes. It always
Okay.
happens.
Okay. So that's a good takeaway. Do not kill people. I really like that takeaway.
It's
For
simple.
me, it's the simplest thing. Thou shalt not kill, right? For me, the takeaway is going to be know the facts and not take the law into your own hands. No vigilante justice. That's going to be my thing. Because, like we're saying, alleged. Does he have anything concrete? Is going to be my question at the end of the day. Of course, this case is still ongoing, so we don't know just yet. However, there is nothing that we've seen yet. What do you want to say, attorney?
Uh, from what you just said, reminded me another shocking fact that the
Okay.
detective admitted that the police forgot to do is that though the defendant never asked for a lawyer, they
Oh my,
never questioned him. They never. They still to this day have not asked him any question.
this man might walk at this point.
Is that shocking or what?
That is the craziest thing I've
I
ever heard
couldn't
of.
believe it.
I never. I mean, even rookie detectives know to do that.
The defense lawyer asking three times because he couldn't believe it.
No, that's just wow. Yeah. Maybe it's a whole new, like a brand new rookie department. I don't know. You saying no? Okay, okay.
No,
I'm
these
I'm
are the buddies that the sheriff was with every day.
okay.
That's
Well, then
investigating
that
him.
explains it. That there it's the big cover up. It's the blue shields that he's hiding behind. Yeah, they're trying to make sure he really walks or gets a lesser sentence, like you say.
I don't know that. They just want him to go to jail and not tell any secrets.
So it's a bigger
I
conspiracy
mean, this is
there.
all allegations and for entertainment purposes only, and it's an
All
ongoing investigation,
hypothetically. It's all
right?
hypothetical. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I could see that considering the corruption that has come out so far, it's like, well, at this point. So your takeaway is don't kill people. My takeaway is no vigilante justice.
See,
Let the
mine's a shorter sentence. I like
It
mine.
is.
It's a much shorter
Yeah,
sentence.
mine has bigger words though.
Yes.
But I think that people need to leave the law in the hands of the lawmakers, the law people, like in a court of law, whoever that might be in their town, their county, whatever. Leave it there. You can't, because guess what? Then you'll end up where Mickey is, behind bars with no bail. So that's going to be my takeaway from the whole thing. So, as always, I'm always going to thank my special guest, Attorney Russell Little, who was entertaining to say the least for
Dine, I want to
being.
come back. I love your show. I love your
You
topic.
have
I love
to.
you. You're
You
awesome.
have to come back. You're
Anytime
more
I'll
than
come
welcome
back.
to come back. Now, we have to tell the people again where they can find your book, the name of it, show us a picture. Let's see it.
Okay, it's Murder. Murder for Me was the first book. Is out for a second time in May. Uh,
Okay.
has 125 reviews. And Murder by
Okay.
Storm comes out October 22nd on Amazon. Please buy it. Please give me a review. And please, leave a comment below about how great you think her show is.
I, Thank you. Look, you did my job for me.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I want to
that.
come back. I want to be invited. I
You're
want to do
so
an
invited
update in
back.
1 month on this case.
Yes, we can totally do that. We can do a part two. How about that? We'll do a
I
part
love
two
it.
to this alleged hypothetical case. I love
For
that.
entertainment purposes only.
Only. And I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers because now we are on the Alive Podcast Network. We are officially syndicated. So if you are not already subscribed, please do subscribe to Alive Podcast Network, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Spotify and all the other podcast networks so you don't miss an episode of Criminal Justice Corner. Again, thank you, Attorney Russell, for being my special guest and we will catch you on the next episode of Criminal Justice Corner. Thank you.